Welcome to the Business Growth Podcast. Today I'm here with Nhlaka, the director of CFO UK or CFO360 UK. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, Leonard. Excited to be here.
Yeah, likewise. So tell us a little bit more. What do you guys do at CFO360?
Yeah, so CFO360, we are a bookkeeping and accounting firm. So I guess we do bookkeeping, accounting, tax, and advisory. And we're based in a couple of jurisdictions across the world. So we're in South Africa, in Johannesburg and Cape Town. We're in the United Kingdom, which is the practice that I look after, in Milton Keynes in London, and then in America, in Austin and Texas as well. So across all those jurisdictions, we kind of do the bookkeeping, accounting, tax advisory, payroll for our clients. And yeah, essentially what our aim is to communicate financial results to business owners in kind of a understandable way and a useful way for them in their business.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So it sounds all over the place. As in like it's
Yeah,
it's all over the world. Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
And then
it's quite nice that we've got some clients that we service in both jurisdictions. So it's quite useful in that we can kind of provide a holistic tax overview between maybe South Africa and the UK, and advise on both jurisdictions and kind of give a inclusive tax take rather than just
yeah.
looking at one jurisdiction in isolation.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. And what would you say is the main type of work that you do for business owners?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think what we've seen over the years is that it's kind of evolved from more so the bookkeeping and the processing to kind of more of an advisory shift now. I think bookkeeping will always kind of be the building blocks of the whole kind of operation, because we need to do the bookkeeping to give the advice on the books as well. But it's more
Yeah.
so kind of commenting on what's going on in the business, because that's, I think, where the real use comes in. And I think a lot of people have quite a transactional relationship with their accountants, where it's kind
hmm
of you give me some money and I'll give you a tax return or a VAT return. And
Yeah.
what we try and do is basically we do the compliance side, of course, but also to explain the numbers and it
hmm
just even give some insights as to what we see, and then have a discussion from around then and see what we
hmm
can do to help the director of that business reach their goals.
Yeah, nice. And how do you feel the industry has changed since a couple of years ago to what it is today?
Yeah, I think it's just with the implementation of technology, really. There's been kind of a lot of technology, more so kind of AI. I know kind of AI is the buzz topic these days.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess a lot of the accounting softwares now are integrating AI into their operations. So whereas we used to spend a lot of time kind of doing the bookkeeping was quite manual. There's some of those processes we can kind of automate, and they kind of happen in the background now. So our team can, I guess, spend a little bit more time looking at the numbers and then communicating those numbers,
Mhm.
and just giving clients more up-to-date information as and when they need it.
Yeah. Okay. So more switching from the bookkeeping type of thing and automating that admin stuff and then moving more to the advisory type of stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's just where the market's going in general.
Yeah.
Of just giving those useful insights into the business, and that's definitely a shift that we've kind of seen, even just in some of the admin tasks, be it kind of the information requests,
hmm
the processing of receipts, etc., etc. Whereas in the early days, we used to do that kind of manually and click through every single invoice and process that. With the softwares that we use, they've kind of helped us and do that in an automated manner, so we can spend less time doing that, and more time on, I'd say, the fun stuff of looking at
Yeah.
the numbers and dissecting the numbers.
hmm Yeah. And then what are some other projects that you're doing at the moment to implement AI or do automations, or what does that kind of look like for you guys?
Yeah, so what we've kind of been looking at is just removing friction, really, and that's internally and externally, and seeing where we
Mhm.
can kind of implement AI into our systems, or even kind of technology items. One of the systems that we're using is that we've kind of got a bot that logs into our kind of HMRC profiles, and basically pulls out a report as to this is the taxes owing for each client, and then basically the accountant has a nice concise view, um, as and when, as to this is what's outstanding for the client, and then we can kind of proactively just give the client a gentle nudge to say, hey, just a reminder that you need to pay that or that, or there's a refund here, that's
Yeah.
going to be in your account, etc. But essentially, it's just trying to streamline our processes so we can get the processing done quicker, to get the information to our clients quicker, and essentially just give them more time to make decisions, and I guess more time to have conversations.
Nice, nice. Yeah. And then a question I really like to ask as well. So let's say you have a magic AI robot and it could do almost anything. What would you plug it into your business to do?
Oh, that's a great question. Magic AI robots. Um, I think I guess the biggest challenge that we kind of have is kind of just the getting of the information from our clients in a way that is easy for them, and I guess less frictionless for them. So if we can have a
Hmm.
magic AI robot that could interact with each client on I guess not in an overly bombardy kind of spam manner where you're just bombarding the
Yeah.
client with send me bank
Yeah.
statements, send me bank statements, but
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
such a way, be it integrating into maybe a WhatsApp or email or whatever, to kind of just ease that friction of getting information. That would be huge impact to our
Okay.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And is that in terms of the onboarding of the client, or is that also once they are a client and requesting the different documents as you're working with them?
Yeah, it's kind of that. I mean, obviously, with the softwares that we got now, you do kind of have a live bank feed, which is
Mhm.
which is great, and you can kind of process those transactions. But I guess there's also the request for invoices, for kind of VAT
Right.
returns and the like. So it's I guess the onboarding is kind of a phase, but it's more so kind of the regular touch points where we need maybe a bank statement here or there or something if the bank account doesn't have a bank feed integration where we need to request those items or maybe just requesting of invoices.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've seen some of the other one of the firms I'm actually working with, it's a similar thing. It was crazy the amount of time they were spending each day just asking for documents from
Yeah,
clients and then going into the system and being like, oh, this client still hasn't sent this document yet. Okay, send another follow-up email. And now okay, gotta go to the next person. So yeah, it's I think it's a common thing that I see as well.
yeah. I mean, if I think with all accountants, I think that's kind of the common theme across all firms,
Yeah.
is kind of getting that information, and so we can I guess do what we do best, and then kind of give those numbers to the clients. But I guess even from our clients' perspective, I guess they're busy people as well, and they're running their
Yeah.
businesses too. So it's I guess part of the job, but I guess we
Hmm.
just want to make it as easy and as streamlined for everyone
Hmm.
involved in the process, just so it's frictionless and pain-free as possible.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And sometimes getting those bank statements and everything from banks is such a pain in the ass these days
Yeah,
as well. There's so many like two-factor authentication, go to your email, like I don't know, it takes like a whole minute just to log into your bank because I've got an accountant that runs my business and every time I'm just like,
yeah,
ugh, gotta log into this bank, gotta get my phone, gotta give my finger, all this like crazy stuff just to get my
yeah.
bank statement. I swear they just authentication and being able to access this stuff just it's just getting more and more.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I think I guess from the bank side, it's just with increased kind of fraud protections, and I guess
Yeah.
they're protecting themselves. But yeah, you're right. It's a lot of friction for us on the other end of just
Hmm.
trying to log in to actually get the
Yeah.
information in the
Oh
first
yeah.
place.
Oh yeah. And especially when I lived in Europe, I don't know if you've seen those little blue things and you put your bank card, it's like a little plastic thing. You put your bank card into this little blue thing and then you put a code in the blue thing and then it
Oh
puts
yeah.
it into, have you seen those?
Yeah. I mean, we've also got some of those kind of tokens where you generate a code. So
Yeah.
you
Oh
you
man.
log
Oh
in
like
and then yeah, you generate a code and you
yeah.
type it in, then you generate another code and there's a confirmation code to the
Yes,
code.
yes. Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
drove me nuts. Whereas in Australia it's pretty streamlined. Like you can do Face ID
Oh
recognition and
yeah.
then that's it. But then I went to Belgium and it's like, yeah, there's little plastic thing, and you put your card into the little plastic thing, and then you put this code in, and you put in on the website, and it gives you another code, and you put your code
Code.
in, and it just,
Yeah, yeah,
oh my goodness. I was like,
yeah.
yeah, so I can imagine. Okay, and it's a what are some of the other projects that you guys are working on? I think when we spoke last, you said um, you're looking to move to zero or something at the moment using QuickBooks, or what other projects are you guys working on?
No, no. So we're predominantly a QuickBooks firm, and we're quite happy on QuickBooks. I guess we have
Okay.
a few clients on Zero that we work on. I guess the major thing that we're doing now is kind of just the company's house legislation that's kind of changed. So from I guess the 18th of November, all directors and persons of significant control, as well as members of partnerships, need to verify their identity before
Hmm.
the 18th of November. And
Yeah.
if they don't, then we can't do the filing. So it's just, I guess, a little one more checkpoint for us that we need to do for our clients. And
Mm,
basically building a process internally, communicating that process to our clients, and of course getting the information that we need from our clients to make that work. So I'd say that's the major project that we're working on now. And then I guess we've also have the budget coming up on the 26th of November.
mm,
And I guess a lot of clients are looking to make some moves before that. I guess we won't know until we know on the 26th of November of what's changing and when it's changing.
mm,
But essentially what we're doing for those clients is that I guess we're working with the information that we have now and just doing a little bit of tax advisory and seeing what they can do or
mm,
yeah, basically just giving some tax advice on that. So I'd say that's the primary focus for the month of November. And then as we get closer to January, we've got the self-assessment deadline,
mm,
personal tax filing deadline. So it's always a busy time of year for us, October, November, December, January, because I guess there's always the budget and the self-assessments as well, and some tax planning thrown in there as well. So yeah,
mm.
always a busy time, but always good to be busy, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then how are you guys finding keeping up with all the legislation changes in the UK? Because I know the government has done a lot of different changes these days. How do you find keeping up with that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is.
You can't
We've
do
just got to
much.
kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
we've just got to kind of just be aware of the changes, and also just make our clients aware of the changes. I think that's our main responsibility. But I think also just communicating the changes in a digestible, understandable format. I think even just going back to last year's budget, there's a lot of kind of changes around employers' national insurance and capital gains tax. But I think, I mean, people understand that these changes are happening, but I think it's kind of bringing it home and
Yeah.
relating that to the client. So what we did is that we did a an explainer ebook with some kind of worked examples of this is the
Mm,
legislation change. This is what the impact of the change would be, just to kind of give a visual representation as to what these changes actually mean. Because I guess it's all good and well to know there's a change, but I guess the two questions people will ask will, what does this change actually mean? And then how
mm.
does this change impact me?
Yeah.
And I guess
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just kind of communicating that point.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, and especially, I guess, giving him the right information because sometimes if you go to, say, ChatGPT, it can sometimes
Oh
hallucinate and then it
yeah.
might give them the wrong information. So it sounds like that would be, I imagine, quite helpful having like a little document that, hey, this is what is relevant for you type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we're regulated by the ICAW, and we get a mailer every week. Also with kind of just general reading topics. And then there's a few other
Mm,
forums that we're in, and where we get like monthly mailers, and a few other platforms where we kind of just look at the legislation changes, and we kind of marry that all together to kind of communicate that
mhm.
with our clients. But I guess just on the ChatGPT front, it's also quite a bit of the wild west in that some people will take it as the gospel, and that they'll
Oh
put
yeah.
something in ChatGPT and be like, yep, that's
Yeah.
it. I want to make decisions off of that.
Oh
And
yeah.
I mean, even ChatGPT, they've got on their there's a footer on ChatGPT which says ChatGPT can be
Mhm.
wrong um, at times. So verify your information, which I think some people overlook. So I guess that's another probably a dark side of AI of people just relying on ChatGPT and kind of
Mhm.
going fully in with whatever the AI spews out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 My kind of hack that I do with that is I say I use ChatGPT, but then I use the other one to audit what
Yeah.
ChatGPT says, especially
Oh
when
yeah.
you're making like a pretty big decision. Yeah, I find it really good. So what like I'd go ChatGPT, ask it for this, and then I take what I asked it, and then I paste it into like I like Perplexity, and then I
Oh
put it
yeah.
into Perplexity, and I'm like, hey, audit what ChatGPT said here, and check this is right, and then if it says it's both things give the same answer, then generally I think it's pretty accurate. But I always like to just do like a logic test
Yeah.
as well and just be like, does this logically make sense to me or is it just rubbish type of thing?
Rubbish. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
quite like Perplexity from kind of the research
Mm,
question kind of point of view. And then I think in terms of ChatGPT and even with Claude, it's kind of just more refining
mm,
kind of some of the text or some of the LinkedIn posts that I use or
hmm.
maybe some of the emails. I think it works kind of better on those two models, and then Perplexity is kind of more so on the research kind of bits.
Yep.
Oh, I guess that's how I kind of approach it. It's probably those are the three that I use from an AI
Yeah.
standpoint. Are you just predominantly ChatGPT and Perplexity?
And I've started using Claude as well. I was
Oh
just
yeah.
about to say I started using Claude like a couple of days ago. And
Oh yeah.
I like it because it gives you explanations of why it's making adjustments to the stuff that you put in there. And then I feel it makes me then also learn how to write better. So it might say,
Yeah.
typically I use it more just to reword stuff. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Claude really works well for that. Yeah.
yeah, so I might write like a message I want to send to someone, an email I want to send to someone, and then sometimes I don't think too much. I just get the general gist. This is what it needs to say, and then I put into Claude, and then I say reword, and then it gives you feedback. It's like, okay, we changed this word to this to sound better, this one to sound less aggressive, this to do
Yeah.
it. It's interesting. It makes you then. I think it improves you as a writer as well.
As a
So
writer. Yeah.
yeah, I've been quite enjoying Claude. Yeah. Um, so I know we're starting to run out of time here. So how about let's finish on what projects or what are you working on at the moment that you're like most excited about? Or what's coming up that you guys are doing that you're like most excited about?
Yeah, most excited about is kind of our website refresh and um kind of a brand refresh in that we've got an advisory arm of our business called Perceptive Accounting, which we're going to be kind of relaunching, if I can say that, in the coming weeks. Really, really kind of excited about that. And our website's almost good to go. But I guess in terms of the work that we're looking to kind of do under Perceptive Accounting is kind of just more so of the in-depth advisory. So there's about 25 clients that we're already servicing under that kind of umbrella, and it's a lot more high touch in that we are kind of the outsourced finance function where we'll manage the client's inbox. So we'll manage billing at ABC Limited. The
Yeah,
UK. We'll manage payments. We'll load payments, salary payments. We'll obviously do the bookkeeping, the processing, the accounting, the tax. But I think where we add the most value is kind of the reporting, be it cash flow reports, putting budgets together and doing budgets versus actuals, some KPI reporting depending on the industry, and meeting with the decision makers in those businesses, be it monthly. For some clients, we have a standing weekly meeting where we just
yeah,
run through a few bits and kind of are the outsourced CFO. And it's really kind of great to be involved in almost the nitty-gritty of those type of clients. So really, really excited to kind of kickstart that. And yeah, I'll definitely be posting some of that on my LinkedIn and just kind of sharing the work that we've been doing there. And yeah, I'd say that's the project I'm most looking forward to over the next couple of months.
Yeah, nice. That sounds really interesting, especially getting into the heart of businesses and then seeing what's going on and looking at the different numbers. Yeah, I remember like at some of the businesses I worked at and just yeah, looking like, okay, how much does it cost for this good? How much are they selling it for? The shipping and everything. It was really, yeah, like
Yeah,
fascinating.
it's absolutely, and I guess it's also useful for those business owners in that kind of just to have a different viewpoint, and we like to have
Yeah.
those just have it as a conversation of have you considered A, B, or C? Because sometimes you just can't see the forest from the trees, and that you're in
Mm.
the day to day of the business,
Mm.
and you 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 you're probably too close to it. So for
Oh
somebody else
yeah.
to kind of give a different viewpoint
Yeah.
and to maybe pose a question. But yeah, I guess for us, it's to give that information and basically to say, using your example of you're selling this for this and you're it's costing you that and your margins are quite small. Is
Mm.
there a reason why you've come in at that price? Maybe renegotiate with your suppliers in terms of cost or shipping of your so your stock holding costs are quite are quite impactful, then is there anything you can do about that in terms of keeping less stock at the warehouse and kind of ordering as and when?
Yeah.
But essentially, it's just having conversations and asking questions, and then from those questions, we link that with the financial reporting, and then also, I guess, with the budgets versus actuals of, I guess we set out with the budget, but I think it's quite useful to look back at the budget and also refine as we go along. I guess it doesn't make sense if the plan changes. If there's significant
Mm.
contract that comes on board, then I guess the budget moves in a positive nature. So it doesn't make sense for us to use the budget that's now outdated. Let's kind of bring it up to date and let's see if anything has changed. And if anything has changed, um, let's factor that in. But also let's see how we're performing against the budget and if there's any other unplanned costs that come up over a period of time and understand why that's happened so we can interrogate those figures.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I find getting an outside perspective is invaluable because you don't know what you don't know. And that's
Absolutely.
often the biggest thing that's going to come back to bite you in the ass or how your competition is gonna beat you. So yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Absolutely.
well, it's been great chatting with you. Where can people find to learn a little bit more about what you guys do?
Yeah, so you can find us on our website, so that's CFO360.co.uk. You can find me on LinkedIn as well as CFO360 on LinkedIn. We look to post some informational stuff as to what's going on in the industry, so kind of keep you abreast. And then I guess in the coming weeks we'll also be launching perceptive accounting, which will also be on our websites and our LinkedIn, and we're also on Instagram, CFO360 as well, on Instagram, which we've started a couple of weeks ago, looking to get some traction in that front. But yeah,
Okay, awesome. Well, I'll include a link to that in the show notes. I appreciate you coming on. You guys have been listening to the Business Growth Podcast. Until next time, keep growing.